key things that you need to bear in mind with the spoken presentation. First of all, it's planned, so there's an assumption that you will have planned out the structure and your choice of language. It needs to come across as a planned, crafted speech rather than an off-the-cuff talk. It needs to be formal, so you're going to need to use standard formal English as appropriate for a formal spoken presentation. And it needs to be designed to be delivered to an audience. Although you may only be doing it to your tutor, it needs to be appropriate to be delivered to a much larger audience. In terms of timing, it's a 10-minute maximum presentation, and that must include a question and answer session at the end. Even though it doesn't contribute directly towards your GCSE, the spoken endorsement is compulsory, and without it Edexcel can't give you the GCSE, even if you get full marks on the 2 written papers. In terms of your choice of topic, your spoken endorsement can be on anything you like, provided it's suitable for a formal presentation and substantial enough for you to be able to speak for 5 to 6 minutes in detail about that topic. You can use visual aids such as PowerPoint or any other kind of physical visual aids, but you won't get extra marks for these, so don't spend ages creating those, and don't think that it will boost your mark if you include those. Okay, so let's look in more detail about exactly how you do this. In terms of speaking, you should plan to speak for a maximum of 5 to 6 minutes out of the total of 10. And the reason for that is because you are expected to allow time for a question and answer session at the end. That is a compulsory part of the spoken endorsement. So even if you overrun that 5 or 6 minutes, you'll still have time for a good question and answer session at the end. So be prepared to answer questions. If you're using slides, don't just read them. You mustn't be seen to be reading off a script. Use them as memory aids, as launch pads for elaborating on that information. Do a practice run to make sure you know how to use something like PowerPoint, and also to check that your audio and your visual equipment is working properly and providing high quality audio and visual. And the reason for that is that all of these presentations have to be recorded video and audio and sent to the exam board for moderation, and it's your responsibility to ensure that that is high quality. In terms of grade, the spoken endorsement is graded pass, merit or distinction. There is also a fail and a not attempted, but hopefully we won't need to use those. So you get pass, merit or distinction rather than levels 1 to 9. As I said previously, the spoken endorsement mark does not count directly towards your GCSE grade, but you must be shown to have done it to be awarded that GCSE. When you get your certificate, you'll see your GCSE grade, and then you'll see the spoken endorsement appearing as a separate qualification on your certificate. So what makes an effective presentation for the spoken endorsement? Well, it's a presentation that's well structured. You've thought about the order you're going to present the information, and you've used devices to make sure that that presentation hangs together, that there is a sense of cohesion as you go through. You've used interesting language devices such as rhetorical devices and figurative devices to keep it lively and interesting for your audience as you're going through that presentation. The combination of an effective structure and interesting use of language makes your presentation engaging for your audience from the outset. You grab their attention and you sustain that throughout the entire presentation. Because you're doing question answer at the end, it needs to be thought-provoking. Give them something to think about, something they can ask you questions about at the end.